We are live.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy vexyz, the lurking legend. Y'all can just call me Vex. It's been a bit since I've been on here on the TLA channel talking about One Piece. Super excited to be back in action. We have a wonderful spicy stream talking about one of the most goated chapters we've received in a series of amazing events that have been happening throughout the Egghead arc. And we're joined here today by Polypede Works. How are you doing today, bro?
Hey, Polypede Works here. Pleasure to finally be on the last arc.
Let's go. Yeah,
it's fantastic.
We've had you on for the streams of Liberation, and you held it down. You were there for like I think a record amount of time for both of them. So we appreciate getting you on for a dedicated solo stream with the crew. And you've also had me on the Rose Skull podcast, as well as the captain himself, Lucas, who will be joining us again shortly once he's done being Big Dad. And doing all of the things that he's got going on. He'll be with us in about half an hour, I think. But yeah, it's a blast to have you on for a solo stream, and what a wonderful chapter we have to go over. Before we get into anything too spicy, let's go ahead and introduce the rest of the crew. We've got the historian of the last arc himself. We've got Kube of the Red Sea. How you doing today?
What up, guys? Oh, I'm excited. We've got Polypede. Vex has come back from his, the sleeping legend has returned. So that's good. For also a crew. I say every stream, guys, but it's a great time to be reading One Piece. So I'm very excited to be chatting with all those goats right now, and everyone in the chat.
Absolutely, everyone in chat, we love you. Thank you so much. Make sure to like the stream. We are also joined by somebody who said he wasn't going to be a part of the stream, but I'm going to introduce him anyways. We've got the frontline combatant of the last arc, NoChillDill.
Yo, it's NoChillDill. Sorry, I had to replicate Polly's energy coming in.
Crazy.
How's everyone doing today?
Vibing. Shout out to Ghost Train of Thought, The Will of Dreams, SSJ, Cody in the chat. I see you guys. Much love. And then last but certainly not least, person we would all be lost without. We absolutely love you, the Navigator of the last arc herself. We have 3-day trip. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
We're eating. It's been a crazy time reading One Piece, like Kube had said. 114 was such a phenomenal chapter. Lots of setup, lots of payoff, lots to talk about. Polypede, what was your biggest takeaway from 1114? If you had to pick one.
Man, there's so much to go over, bruh.
I know. Did you have a favorite panel or like a favorite like text box or anything like that, or just like a theory that you've been cooking on that got some gas, or like a new idea that popped up?
Well, a lot of Lunarian stuff came to mind, but I have to give a shout out to the community for the thousands upon thousands of videos about Joy Boy. Him being the first pirate is the biggest takeaway, because that opens up so many implications. What is Joy Boy? What was his crew like? How do you explain the idea of a crew to somebody who's never heard of a pirate? What was his ship like, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah,
it is super spicy. And like it's not every day that we get like stone cold like fact, like something that is like not disputed, like especially from like someone like Vegapunk, who said in that same like snail like message that he's just like, hey, that's just a prediction about the flood, and him saying that like that's just a theory when he was talking about the devil fruit like reveal and stuff. He said, I can only speak in the things that I know. So this is like an actual fact, and like I really do trust that in from him. Yes. So that's like super huge. What about you, Cube? If you had to pick like one huge takeaway, like the biggest thing for you from 1114?
So obviously, I'm gonna add on something else since I agree with what Polypede has said. For me, there was one moment where the Marines were reacting, and they said enough with the lies and madness, Vegapunk. And I found it very interesting they used the word madness, and I'm wondering if we're starting to get an idea on why the Mads were called the Mads. I'm wondering if the Mads predicted some of those, like they were seen as crazy people. Because then the Celestial Dragon uses the word that he uses to call Vegapunk stupid is cretin. And cretin is also a scientific word for someone who says crazy stuff, but with a mental illness. So I'm wondering if we're starting to get the spice of, maybe some of the stuff were foreshadowed by some people, and they just tried to, they use propaganda, made them look like crazy.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I feel like, especially with what's going on in the anime and like the Stussy scenes getting animated and us kind of getting like, we still need to know so much more about like what was going on with Mads and with Neomads being shown in recent chapters and stuff. That's absolutely spicy, and I'm super hyped. There's so much that still needs to be uncovered, and like Egghead just keeps delivering. What about you, brother Dill? You had anything like a strong takeaway for you from 1114?
Bro, yes. The fact that Doflamingo knows that the reason for the reason that the Celestials are on the red line is to avoid the flood. Dofi knows about that.
Bro,
Dofi
that is exactly what my answer was gonna be.
Don't you think that we should go someplace higher? Like
the revival of the "can we get much higher" memes, like no,
yeah.
But no, the Dolphy panels absolutely shattered my mind. That was exactly what I was gonna say, so now I gotta think of something else really quickly. But 3-Day, I know I've seen you in so many of the chapter like reactions and things like that, and you get a really good ear to the ground on the community. What was the biggest thing for you from 1114?
There were several things, really, but playing off what Kube said, I don't think it was coincidental that those words were in that panel, because it also says where it says, if this doesn't come to pass, feel free, disregard the rest of this message. Long ring, long land. There. It's where it says feel free.
Oh yeah,
And
that is huge.
Oh
wow, that's actually super spicy. And I like that like they also showed Mocktown whenever like there were people who were like not believing what Vegapunk was talking about. So like the imagery and like the like, it's like pulling from the world building that Oda has already done throughout the story and giving us just those little like spicy like little like micro panel, like just like it's so huge. Like I love that for such a small detail. So really good takeaway there. I think for me specifically, like it's really cool. Like I mean, like seeing Doflamingo and Magellan was absolutely insane and stuff like that. Like the gnarly panel of the Itumare like was really cool, and just seeing like I don't know, all of the different like some people kind of got a little bit. They're feeling like during the countdown and stuff like that, some of the cutaways and reaction shots were like, okay, there's a little bit fluff and stuff like that. But I really liked them, and like seeing like Kuzan's reaction and stuff like that as well is crazy. I don't know, man. Like there's so much more that I feel like we're about to get, but at the same time, I feel like Oda might this might just be like a bit of like him stringing us along a little bit longer. So I don't know. Do you guys think that we're gonna get like more payoff and figure out more about the Void Century right away in the next chapter, or do you think that this is gonna be just like, because we found out about Joy Boy back in Fishman Island, and then we found out a little bit more about the Void Century hundreds of chapters later whenever we got Toki, and now here we are over 100 chapters after that. Do you think we're still gonna have to wait, or do you think that we are about to really get more information from this?
No, it's going to go straight into more about Joy Boy, I think, because it ended on the first pirate. It has to pick up where it left off, or I'll die.
Oh my goodness. Real quick shout out to Dax Sake and to
Yo.
John Schrod on all social media in the chat.
What's up?
What's
up, bros?
Major love to the Afro gang and the OPU crew. We're so glad to have you. What do you think, Poly P? Do you think that we are absolutely about to get more from the Void Century, or do you think that this is just going to be another little breadcrumb along the trails?
I kind of agree with 3-Day, because we left off with Joy Boy being the first pirate, so there's probably some more concrete information that Vegapunk knows about Joy Boy. Now, the real question is this going to lead into like a flashback, or like Vegapunk's summarization of what he think happens with Joy Boy as far as he knows, and we get that in the form of Joy Boy actually being a pirate, maybe becoming Nika, etc., etc.
Yeah, I think it's It's interesting. I could see us getting like a bit of like an Odin flashback to go over like some of the Void Century stuff, but I could also see that maybe being pushed back until we actually get to meet up with Saul face to face, which it's was foreshadowed in this series of events, which is huge. Like, so what about you, Cube? You think that we're for sure about to get Void Century, like more Void Century knowledge, or is this
No.
just one more stepping stone towards the goal?
I think honestly, I think he's gonna go deeper, but more like 3Day and Polypede said on the Joy Boy stuff, because this whole arc was to explain Kuma's love for Nika, how much he believed in him. And I've always said that quote of Vegapunk saying, "I can tweak and look into the memories without affecting it." And he wanted people to be able to view. Right now, all he said is talking. So I want to know what it is. So I think there's an angle with the Joy. So he doesn't need to go full in the Void Century, but I think he's gonna go much deeper on the Joy Boy stuff. Kind of gets more concrete. And like you said at the beginning of the stream, it's the one thing that he's sure of. He said the stuff he won't talk about is because he's not sure of it. So it seems that he knows enough about Joy Boy, so I think he'll just go deeper into it. Not superficial.
Yeah, I get you. Like there's so much more that he could say, not even just about the Void Century, but also just about the world as we don't know it, because we don't even know the name of this planet or anything. Like, there's so much that like Oda has been holding off on, and I feel like it's crazy the amount of things that are getting revealed right now and what all that could entail. But it seems like a lot of people are thinking that Void Century is on the menu. What about you, Cube? I'm sorry. What about you, Dill? Do you have any major thoughts about next chapter? Like and subscribe. While we wait for Dill's response, we have actually just been joined by the musician of the crew himself. We got Joshua Vythor. How you doing today, brother?
Yo, what's up, guys? What's the subject about?
We're talking about specifically, do you think that Vegapunk is about to give us more information on the Void Century in next chapter, or do you think that it's gonna be just a little bit of like a stepping stone before we get to like 100 chapters later, the actual flashback or the more big reveals?
No.
Classic.
Very straightforward answer. What?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah, you're back. Dude, you scared us.
That was me this show, by the way.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the same, like with what we got with God Valley. Like, it's gonna be just the beginning and some stuff.
Just like an appetizer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was talking about.
Oda's specialty you're talking about. That's Oda's specialty.
Oh, for sure. Because like when we think about it, the first like actual concrete bit of information we got, other than like us figuring out really early on that the poneglyphs were from like a long time ago and that there was an ancient kingdom, was when we like in Fishman Island, right, with like the whole Joy Boy message. And then hundreds of chapters later, it was with Toki, who was actually from the Void Century, but we didn't get anything from her really about it. So it's just, there's been like little bits throughout the like the whole journey so far. So I don't know, like I really do hope though, like 3Day it said, like a huge part of me is really hoping that we get more information on exactly what all that went down. What do you think, Polypede? Do you have any like major like theories that spawned from like recent events?
Well, I talk about this in the video I did about the chapter, but I think the mother flame that we see in the big, like almost Saiyan-like or bathysphere looking pod, I think that was extracted from Albert.
That's crazy that you said that, because I remember like one of the first streams I was ever on with TLA. It was like a year ago now at this point. I was talking about how I thought that the eternal flame that Lilith was talking about and the power source was actually just like Lunarian genetic like lineage factor or something like that, or they were like just like using them as batteries. And like I put it on my bingo card for a bingo stream that we did here on TLA a while back near the start of the year, that I think we are going to get the reveal of more Lunarians, at least one more Lunarian like a person soon-ish. So that's huge.
It's funny that you would say that because I a while ago now, I think like almost a month ago, I said I think Blackbeard might be like a Lunarian, not like fully. If you remember way back in Water 7, you remember Chimney?
Of course. The little
And how
she's like a quarter fishman, like a Kokoro's like granddaughter or something.
Exactly. I think that's the thing that's going on with Blackbeard. He's got like a tinge of Lunarian DNA from his ancestry. That's why, even though his like Dove fruit, the darkness fruit, actively works against him, he can take all that he can take. And it's even made out to be a joke in the Ace novel thing the Ace manga done by Boichi, the guy who does Dr. Stone, because in the chapter in which Ace beats this weird guy who had the giraffe fruit before Kaku, you see in the bottom panel, teacher's like, I got stabbed during the fight. So pain has always been like a thing for him, but it's always played off as if it doesn't affect him. So I find that very interesting. But yeah. And then, of course, when he uses the darkness fruit, it looks like a Lunarian flame, but I don't know what that's about.
It's also really interesting to kind of feed into that is that like the first major matchup we see him against is the flare user, like Fire Fist Ace, and so like that's super interesting. Go ahead, Cube.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's also like it's just something I always thought of. Let's say that we know that there must have been like a set of Dofu that were like made at first, right? Like I don't think all the hundreds or 120 or I think it's 180 the Dofu were all made at the same time. So they must be like, in a sense, primordial one. I've always wondered, and that could go what Lunarians and what we're saying about Blackbeard. What if Blackbeard's Devil Fruit basically was made after the first Devil Fruit were made? Like basically the countermeasure. Everything in nature has a balance. I've always felt like, what if Blackbeard's fruit is the one fruit that nature had to create? Which would explain, his connection to Devil Fruit and him hunting Devil Fruit users.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I've been pointing out for a while, like it's super fishy that the Yami looks so similar in certain ways to the Hito no Mi model, mythical model Nika. So it's crazy. Like one of them, something's up with one of them. You know what I mean? Or both, but for sure, that is really crazy. And like I can't wait. Like I know a lot of people thought Egghead was gonna be the arc where we got a lot more definitive answers, and it seems like a lot of things that Vegapunk is telling us, he's just like, but that's just a theory. But like it's cool that we actually got like some solid actual reveal in this most recent chapter, and I'm definitely hoping we get some more of that. And also make sure huge shout out to 3Day who's in the call with us, but also modding the chat, dropping links. Check out Polypede's channel, links in the chat right now. And also go check out the Rose Skull podcast, Fire Stuff, every Friday, right?
Yes, every Friday, sir. We were off this past Friday because of some things, but we'll be on this Friday talking about 1114 and possibly some live action stuff that's come out recently. So tune in for that.
We can definitely get into that. I know Lucas is our main live action guy, so once he returns, I'm sure he'll love to talk to a little bit about that with you while we have you here.
Absolutely.
But I've been a guest on the Rose Skull podcast. It's a great time. Make sure you check that out. It's always wonderful content. And like I said, it's been a long time coming that we've had you on stream with us, like as a solo guest instead of on one of our bigger streams.
It's a pleasure, bro. I'm enjoying myself.
But you were talking about the Mother Flame specifically. I just kind of want to pass it around because that is huge, like that we got to see that. I remember when I think JJ in the chat, John Sherrod from the OPU crew was talking about how Prince D Professor speculated or mentioned that the sound effects from the chamber within the Mother Flame like room when we got that panel were like the same sound effects that we got from like Luffy's heartbeat. I don't know if you guys have like also seen that kind of going around, but
I have a tweet on that actually, that very thing.
Go. That's
nice.
Huge. But yeah, I mean, like Mother Flame theory's got to be sprouting up like crazy right now. Like, hit me with them. What do y'all got?
Yeah. Also, there's something, obviously the glub glub sound effect we're talking about of the Mother Flame breathing. I was very curious because Oda sometimes those stuff you can find by Googling. It's interesting. There's a 90s TV series that talks about basically it's people's head on fishes who have to live underwater, and they have like basically it's like antics. It's like One Piece antics. It was very funny. That wording actually comes from a show.
Is that called SpongeBob?
No, dude. It's like it's very weird, dude. It's very weird. It's like it's like goldfish with a person's face on, but a 90s show, so it's badly done CGI wise.
It's like the reverse of Oda, because doesn't he show us like the him with the
His
dachi,
body
like,
with the fish head.
Yeah, like so that's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's amazing.
Yes, that's like a thought of it. But actually, I have something on the Mother Flame, and it's because everyone has those AMU, and there was something that Deden's been talking for over a year, and I've always keep an eye on it, and something I was mentioning Alabasta. There's a ruler, and you know how Alabasta was always heating to the point that they needed rain. There was this hero that Robin, remember when he's talking about Pluton, and he calls him Mamudin, and I find interesting that there's the AMU, Amu inside, and there's this phrasing in his name, Mamu, Amu as well. So I'm wondering if the Muzzle Flame, I was going that logic, what if the Muzzle Flame was, or something like the Muzzle Flame was, or Eternal Flame was used in Alabasta? Because we also know that Alabasta is like thousands of years old. It was just a thought when I saw the AMU.
Yeah, that's some of the oldest history we got, other than in Ohara 5,000 years ago. There was the World Tree. It also mentioned like the Alubarna Temple, like I think like 3,000 years ago or something. Huge shout out to Terrible TJ with a membership message. Member for 12 months. Crazy. This has been a year already. He said, can't stay, but had to like the stream. And the little Sabo thumbs up emote. Major goat in the community. We love TJ.
Yes, sir.
Crazy that it's been 12 months. Like that's put a huge smile on my face. Shout out.
Real goat TJ.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was a thought when I saw it, because obviously everyone like put them as two separate things, but I'm wondering if it was also referred to a name. And he was like the hero of Altea and of Alabasta. But interesting enough, Crocodile cut her off before she can continue. He didn't care about it.
Yeah.
Which makes me even more suspect about the identity of that hero of Alabasta that no one knows about.
Yeah, that panel goes so sick, like the whole Mother Flame panel. And like honestly, at first I didn't even really notice the A and Mu like little thing there, just because like how it tied into the title of the chapter, like the wings of Icarus, and he's like, I flew too close to this. It's so good. Like I love so much about the way that Vegapunk has been written. Like when somebody said that he's like the mind who is so sharp it cut itself, and like this is just, it's crazy. Like Oda is absolutely pulling out all the stops in Egghead arc. I don't know if there's really anything else I can put near it at this point.
It was written like that in the Raws too, that it wasn't in any kind of Japanese. It was written exactly like that for the Raws.
Yeah, dude, it's so sick. Like, I think actually one of my favorite chapter titles recently.
So I have a question actually for everyone. You see the panel just before when Saturn first sees the Mother Flame? Doesn't it feel like the Mother Flame is affecting him?
Yeah, he seems blinded by light.
Yeah. We might be getting some weakness to the Gorsei. Like they might be,
Yeah.
Also, permission to go on. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say that the S108, 108 earthly desires.
Exactly. Buddhism.
Okay. Crazy.
And also the S part, like, is the same name scheme as the Seraphim.
Yeah.
Most likely means that it must be somewhat alive or something, Must have a will or something, most likely.
It is humans' true desire to have infinite will or infinite power.
And like if you look at the because it fits in with Seraphim, and the naming scheme of them a little bit, like Josh had just said. If you look at other biblically accurate angels and things like that, Seraphim are just one type, but there's also thrones. And they're beings of aren't they like rotating masses of eyes and fire, which kind of reminds me of it's almost like an eternal flame kind of situation. I don't know. That's pretty crazy. To think about. What were you gonna say, Paulie?
I want to pop off a little bit. There were so many people, especially on TikTok, I don't think it was anyone on here, but someone said that the Gorosei need the magic circles in order to transform. And that's not even true, because in the panel when we see the Mother Flame, Saturn goes from beast to hybrid to human.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just annoyed.
I mean, and then you have Marcus that just transformed into human at one point.
Exactly.
And it's crazy because like seeing him comparatively, I think it was like a chapter or two ago, to like the size of the giants. Like in his hybrid form, is his top half just really tiny, or is he like also able to kind of like gigantify?
I've been wondering about that because like I've done how many videos, like a year's worth of videos I think about this, but I think there are like technically two different forms of awakening, which I mean that's a fact now. But the funny part about the bestial awakening that you see from like the demon guards, possibly Sengoku, and what seems to be going on with Chopper's beast form, but focusing more on Sengoku and Chopper, they're really, really big. So I wonder if you're like a properly awakened Zoan, can you just alter your size? Because size manipulation has always been a trait of Zoan users. Like, you know how the hybrid's always larger than the human or the beast. Well, at least most of the time, depending on the user. So I could believe that when you're an awakened Zoan, you have full range of your body and you can become any size you want potentially. That's why you see like the girls say now they can become the size of giants because they are fully intimate with their abilities.
It's interesting to think about. I think it could also go in with like, you know, like specifically Chopper had mentioned like that he's heard of life return and like the term called like biofeedback before, and Chopper also being able to become gigantic and monster point. Maybe that's how he heard about it to a degree or something. So it could go back into life return. We here at TLA love life return. we preach its gospel like whenever possible. So I think that could be a thing because we've also seen another user of life return who is also Zoan. It was Rob Lucci when he's able to like kind of like, you know, bulk himself up and down and things like that while in his hybrid form. So I think the two might kind of go a little bit hand in hand. And the fact that the Rokushiki techniques, which life return is similarly like adjacent as like an esoteric like technique to alter your form and stuff like that, it's specifically techniques that are like kind of supposed to be secret and kept within like the realm of the world government. Like Cypherpole exists outside of the Marines, but within the umbrella of the world government. And these are the penultimate forms of the world government's influence in the Gorosei.
Exactly. Also, on top of that, real quick, we do see that Saturn can use paper arts because that's when his spider legs become tentacles and whip out. But you go on.
I'm sure they're all like hockey masters, Rokushiki masters, and like have also all, if it is a devil fruit awakened, their devil fruits, like they'd have to pull out all the stops. These are like the big bads, right? Like that we have so far.
Yeah. To go back to what you were saying, Polypede, about the whole summon circle. For me, the summon circle, I think the same thing as Miss Golden Week. I think they just could be connected between one another. Miss Golden Week was connected to Luffy as long as he had the painting on his back, but the once someone removed it, she lost the connection. I always saw it as, you know, more of a connection than actually getting the power from there.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Well, I have a weird little theory I wanted to mention. Remember how we learned about everything on Thriller Bark about shadows? And then the Gorosei, when they first transformed, it was only shadows that we saw. So I was thinking that them not getting hurt is because their shadow remained intact. So maybe the only way to hurt them was to attack their shadow. And then when he saw the light from the flame, it messed with his shadow. That's why he reacted so strongly. So maybe it's that somebody has control over their shadows and or something. Maybe it's Emu that controls it, and as long as their shadow's intact, they cannot get hurt.
Yeah. An Impel Down, for those who might have forgotten, it's anime and manga. And in manga, it's the same. When Buggy gets cut at one point, halfway, like the same way as Monet gets cut in Punk Hazard, the inside of his body is just shadow, silhouette inside. You can't tell any organs. It's just darkened, just like the Gorsei. So it could be that every person has that will in that way, and maybe the Gorsei theirs are just not there. That's interesting.
I like that.
Well, yeah. Go ahead, Polygrade.
Oh no, I was just saying I like it. That's all. Continue.
Yeah, because they were losing their whole. When they got their shadows back on through their bark, they all got put right back together as soon as their shadow was there. Maybe that's why it was written like
really
that.
Like that. And like what Kaiba Corporate said in the hilarious username, by the way, said in the chat, like that would also kind of tie Blackbeard Pirates and Moria together. I think that like the shadow like stuff, it's so interesting because like I am a very prominent and adamant like preacher of that everything ties back to Thriller Bark. And I remember like rereading recently, and that they consider the shadow to be like a second soul. And I think it would be really crazy if they like just to tie things back to Lucas's Faustian deal kind of thing is like, what if their first soul was bargained away like for like a great deal of power, and in such they're able to really like totally manipulate their second soul or their shadow form.
Or they sold their soul from their shadow to the devil or whatever, and now they don't have a soul in there too for that to happen.
That would explain.
So that could be crazy, and like they also mentioned that like Devil Fruit have a will of their own, and that's directly out of the mouth of a Gorosei member, which we all can probably assume. I still don't know for sure, but having like the form of a Zoan or a mythical Zoan like Devil Fruit user as well. It's really crazy that like there could be like potentially 3 souls within one body, given the shadow of the basic soul and the Devil Fruit itself. Sorry, go ahead, Cube.
No, I was just gonna say it also brings value if you think now. It actually makes the context why Saturn reacted the way he saw the light, because what happens to the bark when people lose their shadow? The sunlight can literally makes you unalive.
Yes, it's full erasure. Which is crazy.
So even let's say even if they have like, let's say you cannot like destroy their bodies, right? Because of what happened with Emo. Maybe this could explain why they're weakened still by the sun. They might still be invulnerable, but they'll still be weakened. Because that's the whole thing with the lack of shadow, light can affect you.
So we had Blackbeard cover himself in Whitebeard to unify the shadows with the body.
Yeah.
Since there was no light being present.
Yeah, it's also interesting that the military god of science was also experimenting on an individual, like, and they ended up contracting a disease that made them like vulnerable to sunlight and moonlight as well. Like, what if they were trying to figure out like a perfected form of the sapphire scale that made them impervious to sunlight and moonlight instead of vulnerable to it, and that was a failed attempt.
Oh,
like a protection armor for themselves.
Exactly. So like that's it's really crazy to think about. Like, but yeah, if the sun, like that's exactly what I was thinking. Kaiba Corporate and chat. If the sun god is like basically the source of like their one true weakness, and that was why they were trying to like squash it out for so long, but the fruit itself has been evading them. I think it's really interesting. I like that. And the fact that the mother flame is something that they are like attempting to harness, and that the power station is something that it's basically non-negotiable at this point. They're like, we have to get it. Like, we serve to lose a lot more than just like the personnel here and things like that. If they would have just like tried to completely extinguish this island without salvaging the power source first, like I think it's really interesting if they were like literally trying to kind of fight fire with fire, like eternal flame with eternal flame. I
do have a question about that. I would like to know if that mother flame has been in that tank. How did they destroy Lelouch with it? Was there another one?
Yeah, it's been said that you can recreate the mother flames. Like I think
it's
the
just the energy source.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
energy. So that to destroy the island, you need an entire mother flame.
Yeah, they mentioned that York said that they could recreate it. And that the issue is that, like, I'm sure that Saturn, I think he also said during the Reverie bits, like back around like 1065, that he would be able to, like, I don't remember, I'm paraphrasing, but they can recreate it. It's just the fact that they don't have the power source is
So
like the main
maybe
constriction. Yeah.
use one mother flame once and it's gone, and they have to make another one.
Yeah, I think
It could work like Sugar's fruit. You know, when Sugar's is activated, all toys are undone. It could be that there's one core thing, the mother flame, and they maybe have like a contraption, like an actual ship. But if the mother flame like Sugar's is activated, the toy, the ship, doesn't work anymore.
I don't know about that, but I think if the mother thing is somehow alive, it has to be somehow cloned or something. It has to be an original.
That's why I was thinking a long time ago that they were kind of using Lunarians, like, because if we have Albert, like King, in the story now, in this present day and age, unless he was also affected by like Toki's fruit a long time ago and was sent from like a bygone era, then he has to have some sort of lineage that brought him here. There has to be some sort of like reason how there is a full-blooded Lunarian in the present day that exists. There has to be some sort of like breadcrumb trail. Like that lineage factor is not completely lost.
Yeah, I've been thinking about the same thing, but then I thought if the Lunarians are the ultimate race, the strongest race, wouldn't they have long lifespan as well? Lifespans, like giants.
I think he has a confirmed age, like we see him age as well in Kaido's flashback. He's like a little
what
guy
stops
comparatively.
them? Yeah, what stops them from living hundreds of years still? Maybe they're already in their prime. We just don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason we know for the Giants is because they already give SBS information about it.
Yeah, I'm saying, Lunarians could live as long as Giants.
Yeah, it could be something like that. I'm just, my main thing is that, like, just as that could be, I think that it could be that they basically have been holding on to the lineage factor and have like the first time we see him, he's in a tank being like subjected to like a massive amount of like fire and things like that, and Kaido breaks him out. We know that they have their lineage factor because they've created the Seraphim as well, and like I feel like it would make sense that in order to reproduce this artificially, they were kind of using that race or the remnants of it, or they're like the lineage factor that they have of it, like a pure form of the Lunarian lineage factor, as like some sort of like fuel for the eternal flame. Like it's not an actual eternal flame, and that's why like it's not totally comparable to like, I guess, like the Nika fruit in that sense.
Which now I'm wondering, just speaking about Blackbeard again, we kind of know that he's important because his bounty poster was in Emu's lair. And then, of course, we know that his lineage is important because Saturn mentions it when he is confronting with Devon and Augur. So, I don't know. It's interesting to think how, I guess, intricately woven the Lunarians are with the whole plot here. Even as far as the title of the chapter, because Lunarians are angels that have fires on their backs, and the legend of Icarus is a man who made wax wings that flew too close to the sun. So in that way, it's very interesting. But continue.
I think it's also just something I thought about while we were talking about this all as well, is like there's another source of seemingly eternal light that might not necessarily be a flame, but akin to like sunlight. There is the sunlight tree Eve, which exists directly below Marie Joie within the red line and stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't know if like that might be some sort of like way of them potentially fueling it as well. But like whatever the current power station situation is currently on Egghead. but I just feel like that can't be the only. Like, there's a lot of different like other little things that could hint at like an eternal flame or like a, you know, and like other sunlight significant kind of like concepts within the world of One Piece that I don't know how I forgot about the sunlight tree Eve like in recent events and things like that, but you guys think that might tie in any way to this whole equation?
It might actually, because where did it come from? Now that I think about it,
We have no idea.
We don't know. We have no idea.
We have no idea. We don't know if it predates the Red Line and the Red Line was like made to like encase it, or if it like the Red Line was formed and then it like grew up in there, or like we don't really know anything about it. And yeah, Kuso Land Theories also mentioned Eni's Lobby, where it's like a never night island and there is eternal sunlight there as well. So that's
Yeah, and think of Thriller Bark, your favorite arc, a place where
Of
for a very
course.
long time that area was in darkness. Only after the sun god did his thing that the light came back.
Cube. I'm never
Yeah.
not thinking about Thriller Bark. Like,
Yeah.
it's always on mind.
Yeah.
hold on, wait a minute. Vexyz, since you brought that up, I think about Thriller Bark even more now than I used to. Brother, we need to talk about Thriller Bark at one point. Okay, go on.
I could do a whole stream on it, brother. I have done an
Yeah.
entire stream
Multiple
on it.
times. Multiple
Yeah.
times. We've
I'll
started a
filibuster.
stream about
Yeah.
like something else, and then out of a sudden it's just all Thriller Bark. Because everything
that
ties
on,
back to Thriller Bark.
I did that
Yeah.
on OPU as well. They had a call-in stream, and I was just like, "Y'all ain't ready for this." I had Randy Troy on there with me cooking on Thriller Bark for like a half an hour. It was phenomenal. But yeah, like I could pop off on Thriller Bark and how much that like everything moving forward, especially like post time skip, is completely tieable to Thriller Bark. I think even in more recent chapters, it's only becoming more and more significant.
hmm
Exactly.
Which
I would even give another place, actually. You were talking about location. Think of, I always said the sussiest place in the world is Impel Down. So deep, so most likely there was a flood long time ago, how deep it is. And there's no water inside it. And it's a place where neither the sunlight or the moonlight gets inside. Remember, there's no windows.
Yeah, it's really interesting as well, as because it's meant to be like kind of analogous to like Dante's Inferno, like the 7 layers of hell. And we were also mentioning like people potentially like bartering or selling their souls and things like that, like potentially to like a devil. Like I know, like since Lucas got in here, I gotta shout it out to the Faustian deal agenda. We were talking about how shadows are like your second soul. And if you had sold away your first soul, maybe you would have like total control over your second one or things like, because again, to tie it back to Thriller Bark. And I also wanted to just make sure we gave you a proper introduction. Welcome to the stream proper. We got Straw Hat Lucas, the captain of the Last Ark. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing really good, guys. How we been cooking? It smells like we've been cooking in here.
Of course. What was your number one thing from 1114? Like if you had to pick just one. Sorry to put you on the spot, but yeah, we were talking about like the Mother Flame pretty predominantly for a good part here. We're talking about potential Void Century flashback coming soon, or more like hard reveals of stuff like that. We were talking about
my favorite
Mingo. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. My favorite part about chapter 1114 is people misinterpreting things from it. Everybody's like, Joy Boy's from Elbaf now! Like, everyone thinks that. They did not say that in the chapter, dear viewers. They said that Nico was a sun god from Elbaf. Totally different.
True.
But no, I really liked the interaction between Doflamingo and oh my god, Magellan. Like, it shows that Dofi's still thinking about the treasure of Marijua. Like, he's still wanting to get there. And I liked when Robin saved the crew. Like, that was dope as fuck. I love seeing Robin do anything because she's my favorite Straw Hat.
Come on.
Mhm.
Lucas, you could say the national treasure that he wants is St. Carlos. We all know it's that.
Yeah, it's all St. Charles. No, when it comes to the Mother Flame, though, I've really I'm very partial to the idea that the A and MU are periodic elements, and that Vegapunk has created some kind of nuclear fission here. between two elements, and that's what's producing the mother flame.
Yeah, I was thinking that it, like fission could be like on like something that's within the realm of like. And what's crazier as well is that like if this is ancient technology that they were able to harness so long ago, that he is only now just catching up to, like how much more advanced was the ancient kingdom if they were already like on nuclear like technologies and things like that, and like
Exactly.
that could explain like the kind of post-apocalyptic like water world that we're in, you know, like shout out to that movie that's hella old.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, that's crazy to think about that, like yeah, like seeing them as like alchemical symbols as well is something that I heard somebody talking about, but I'm not so super versed in like alchemy, but there's a lot of different things that it could mean, and that's a really cool thought as well. What did you guys think about?
I've said for years now, since I've caught up to One Piece, that I think that the One Piece is some type of energy source. And after seeing the Mother Flame and the way it goes, I think I'm correct in that standing. It's maybe not the energy source itself, but the machine necessary to house the energy source, or something of that matter.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, what do you guys think about the panel where we see the man himself? We see Saul laughing as the messages.
Yes,
like,
sir.
Oh my god, dude!
His hair is turned white. He is aged like
like a fine wine,
like a fine wine, baby.
Years, dude. Like, but that is one of the, like, I saw that and I got up and shouted. I jumped around my house. My dog was freaking out. She had no idea what was going on. Like, it was like one of the most insane. I'm sorry, I just saw what 3-Day put in the chat. That's hilarious. But seeing Saul was crazy, and on that same page, even we see a celestial dragon not knowing what the Void Sentry is. They're like, "What's that? I've never heard of the Void Sentry."
Yeah,
and that also, that blew my mind.
I needed that panel because this explained why Workery was so scared when Luffy's picture was changed and his name wasn't changed. This shows that they're hiding information from the Marijoa propaganda.
Oh, I thought Dill was going to say something. I might have got that mixed up. My bad.
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, shit. Well, I was letting Cube cook because that's also true. Yeah, because they don't want Emu to see Luffy's new bounty picture and see the name. But that's a different point entirely of what I was going to say. Saul's not bandaged up. We don't know if he's the man marked by flames still.
Yeah, I think that's
we don't up for grabs. We don't see any scarring in these panels he's in.
Yeah, he's straight chilling too. Like, my guy is leisure. He's
listening to Vegapunk's message saying, "Hey, he's doing right by Ohara. This is nice." Oh,
there we go. But I think it's crazy though, just to like the fact that like because I remember bringing it up in the most recent stream of Liberation that we had last month. I was talking about how the celestial dragons are like, they have to be useful to the Gorosei and Emu for some reason, and how I was thinking that they could all be conquerors, and as long as they had wool pulled over the celestial dragon's eyes, they're conquerors. If they truly believed in one thing, they could manifest that thought into reality. And that they were using these like conquerors to manifest whatever they told them. If they were like such a gullible, like kind of like fodder, like project that could like end up like being like the kindling for like a pseudo eternal flame type of deal or something like that. But like if it's like these beings that could manifest whatever they truly believed, if they were fed lies and withheld like the ultimate truth and things like that for hundreds of years, they would end up believing things that weren't actually true and making them true. Mm-hmm. The fact that the celestial dragon doesn't actually know anything about the true history of the world, like, I don't know, to me that's like kind of like telling, in that they're like a livestock, like a cattle or something like that, that are just kind of like
You're getting into
Is it a-
Faustian Deal territory right there, because that's exactly what I said. They're being bred for a certain reason, and I think the fact that they're so ignorant to what's going on in the outside world and the history of the outside world goes to show that they're being kept ignorant on purpose. Like,
Oh yeah.
Taking account also like people like Akainu. He's more he listens more to the Celestial Dragon rulings. Remember what happened to Mirror's He immediately shut it down. With the Gorosei, he keeps calling them out. Like, I think we're starting to get that the true rulers of this world have always been the Celestial Dragon, and the Gorosei have just been playing, a media game. We control the media, the narrative, so everyone thinks we're the rulers.
Also,
Type of
on
situation.
that. Oh, sorry. Go on. I cut you
No,
off.
no. Yeah, go on, man.
Out of all the celestial dragons, they're often seen like as faceless mooks, but we keep focusing on two families: the Don Quixote family, for one, of course, Miosgard, Doflamingo, etc. But the first family we see is actually Charlos's family. Charlos and Roseward, his dad, I don't think matter that much. Who matters is Shirla, because what's interesting is that Shirla never did anything bad, like outwardly. So it's weird now in this chapter specifically, she's the one who starts to question. So she could be the Miosgard of her family. Maybe she's the one who's like waking up and starts to see like the real truth of the world. I find her very interesting.
Folks. Hashtag Shirley did nothing wrong. Like,
Point out as well, we don't have their family's name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
ooh.
And also,
Do you think they could be Doflamingos?
Or monkeys.
Or
No, give us
Quixotes?
another family.
The Will of Dreams in the chat needs to calm down. That's crazy. He said, hear me out.
Ain't no need to hear you out. I'm already there, baby. Let's go.
I've been there for a minute.
Yeah.
No way.
Wait.
I know they're inbred, but they need a little bit more in their gene pool.
And what's interesting too is she's the only female one. She's the only female one.
Yeah, that's the only
Also,
female
no, but
celestial dragon we've seen besides Dofi's mom as she was dying.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this: I believe the way she is also like. Don't you find it interesting that the rest of her family looks to be very ill? That she looks at the peak of her form.
Exactly.
I'm wondering if she's another Ginny situation, someone who was really brought into the family. She's much more intelligent, leaner. Like physically, she's going to be different than the others. So she could be like, it could explain maybe how the Celestial Dragon seems to be still have a lot of family members.
Also unwed. No, she's not married to anyone. It's fascinating because she's a single female celestial dragon. Fascinating.
But isn't she like a teen yet?
But
I think she's a teen still.
Nah, she's older than that, I'm pretty sure. But like, it's crazy because we do also we don't see a whole lot of celestial dragons, but in this panel right here where it shows us like these guys they're built like potatoes. In this panel, like of them looking at Vegapunk, like the video, like of him, like it's. I don't know. It is pretty crazy. It does have a lot to stand out from like the other celestial dragons.
But then also St. Carlos has this talent with marksmanship. Remember the shot that he did to Luffy? Yes, Luffy avoided them, but they were on point, and he even questioned when he missed Zoro.
Exactly.
When he saw the fake blood. Yeah, there's something else about that.
You've brought up his accuracy before, but his durability feats are the main thing about.
They're terrible.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hold on. So I would like to call out everyone that said "hear me out" in the chat. We have information. Y'all are all going to jail.
Yeah, she is 17. So
I told you 17. Yeah, she's 17.
Oh no!
You guys watch out.
Uh-oh.
I knew she was a teen still. I said I knew she was still a teen. That's why. Yeah, I did good.
In my defense, bye guys. No. No.
Well, time to skedaddle. A great
Time to
stream.
skedaddle.
No, but I think it's wild that us getting more common scenes of the celestial dragons. It's crazy to me that this is weeks after the events of the Reverie, right? Like they did, the timelines have been a little bit wonky, all Egghead, but we could all agree the events of Reverie happened weeks ago because that was pre-Wano. Now we're out of Wano, and although like it kind of mentioned in this chapter, right, that the Lelucia incident happened like today.
Yeah.
Like somebody had said that the flood, like he predicted today's flood. So like this is, it's like, but it has been weeks since the Reverie, at least like 2 or 3 or something like that, right? Like,
see, wait, I thought it was, I thought it was that he predicted the aftershock of what happened with the Lelucia. So like Lelucia happened like 2 days ago, right before the Straw Hats landed on Egghead. Because it's been what, 2 days since they've been on Egghead?
The fact that the flood, the flood is the only thing we got confirmed. But somebody said it was today's flood. So yeah, that is the aftershock. You're right.
Yeah. The start of the Reverie was whenever we got to Wano. The end of the Reverie was leaving Wano.
Yeah.
And also, oh no, go ahead. I'll go after you.
I was just gonna say, like, how long have these people just been eating nothing but cake? Because that's like that we do know that their supply chain has been cut off. Like they're being smoked out of the Holy Land right now because the revolutionaries are like cutting off their food supply. So it's like a whole let them eat cake situation, like, and like that's all they can eat, and like, so I mean that can't be sustainable. Like I feel like they're like soon we'll be getting like a straw that breaks the camel's back, but us like seeing the celestial dragons again, and they seem to be doing fine. I mean they're outraged at Vegapunk, but they don't like, we don't hear no like tummy gurgles or anything like that. So I'm just wondering how long until that fully pays off as well.
Well, think about it. Like
tummy gurgles.
Yeah, I was gonna. No, I hate to say this, but like, let's be brutally honest about it. The celestial dragons are pieces of shit. They have they have interns to eat.
Oh no!
Oh no! Lucas, no!
Hold on, different move entirely, right? What if Vegapunk has already tried to make the celestial dragons food machines for their island, like for the Holy Land? But that's why he said he doesn't have enough skilled hands to make the things he wants to do.
I think
it's weird that he only has the one and it's in Egghead.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be that. It would make no sense for the revolutionaries to destroy their food supply if they had a backup like that.
Had a machine that just makes them food whenever they want it.
Right.
Well, it still needs materials. Like they still need to dump stuff into it. It's not just free food out of thin air. Like you still have to like
the
put stuff into the machine. Yeah. But that is really interesting to think about. Is like they probably would want that expedited straight. Like, and for them to gun for Egghead and Vegapunk right after what just happened to them. Yeah, that is like, you feel like that would make him a little bit more of a commodity. And that kind of like also makes me wonder, do you think that the weather con, like the air con systems, would have anything to do with Enies Lobby? Because we don't know how long it's been a Nevernight Island. Or has that been like a more recent thing because of Vegatech, like kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, they never explained it. It seemed like it was always the way they talked about it. It's like an endless day. So they never gave
the way they described it, it seemed like even with it predating Vegapunk, the island was still daytime.
Yeah, I mean, we can assume it's just a thought because, like, I feel like the aircon is gonna be like way more significant moving forward as well. Like, I don't think that that's technology that's gonna be completely lost here. Although I do think we stand to lose a ton at Egghead. It was just so, I don't know. It's been so delicate, like of Oda setting up like the boots. Like, and then the aircon, and then like a freaking lightsaber, and then like all of, like the seraphim and green blood and stuff like that. So many different, like, and the light gloves, the photonic gloves and stuff like that. Ooh. So many different like MacGuffins, and like now we get the power station, and it's in
what
the
we
satellite
talked about earlier with hurting their shadows. Those photonic gloves are looking a lot more suspicious now.
Listen,
that's crazy.
I'm still upset that we have not seen Frankie slap on those photonic gloves and smack the ever living dog shit out of Kizaru.
I want to see Zoro 4-sword style it with a beam saber. Come on now.
Yeah, dude, yes.
But I'm gonna put it back to something you guys said. I've talked about it in another stream, but now I'm really wondering: do you guys think there might be like an imminent like problem with the Celestial Dragon and the Gorosei? Because you know how Warcry was so scared about the newspaper article? Wasn't that newspaper article would be the same one with Luffy's bounty and the Reverie event?
Yeah.
I'm wondering now if the Celestial Dragon are now asking for answers, because it would be like the first time that they can't lie about it because it happened in their own home. Like St. Carl's got attacked. I'm wondering if, like, Oda's building up a Celestial Dragon world government, conflict.
Maybe.
In their turmoil.
Well, it only stands to reason. I think the Celestial Dragons are a special breed of people that, like incest jokes aside, that the Gorosei want to keep close to their heart. I'm sorry, I had to say it. Like, but I think
you didn't though. But you went there.
But I think they're a special like breed of people, like Lunarians or Buccaneers. Like obviously not those two, but just as an example, that the Gorosei have to keep close to their chest for some reason, and causing a rift between the Gorosei and the Celestial Dragons is probably one step to dethroning the Gorosei from power.
Exactly. And also, if the way they keep talking about the 20 kingdoms, when we know there's not 20 kingdoms, but 19 who joined them, there's also this, double-edged sword. I do believe that they're some sort of power source for this world government, but I think they're also basically brand image. Maybe like from the 20 kingdoms, a part of it, it makes them their reign legitimate.
Yeah,
the Gorosei are allowed to lead. Maybe the Gorosei are not actually
poster children for like the whole situation, but they're also like the hamsters on wheels, like powering it all at the same. I feel like they might be a lot more powerful. Like that's what I'm saying. Like they all fit into the equation a little bit more so than like just being like the poster children of like the world government, but that they actually do hold some sort of power and they just aren't aware of it. And when somebody pulls that like Jenga piece and it all comes crumbling down for the Gorosei, like what if would you guys be open to that if we got a full redemption arc for Celestial Dragons as a whole?
No way.
Hell no.
Hell no.
If it were to happen,
Will in the chat, the hillbilly tribe. Oh my god.
They're from the Appalachia. What were you saying? What were you saying, Polly?
if anyone had to be redeemed, I still, from this chapter, not for any other reason, but from this chapter, I could still see it being Sharia. I cannot pronounce the name. Sharia.
Oh no.
What you know about Sharia law? No.
Sharia.
No.
I think that Akainu, we got a bit from we got 3 dots from Akainu. That's some dragon behavior. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. He's
not even just that. Uzan also had an ellipsis as well.
Yeah. So I mean, I think there could be some redemption from those 2 boys as well, like the acting fleet admiral and a guy who's supposedly the 10th Titanic captain. I don't know.
Well,
You're still
maybe.
you're still on the him being sword.
I don't know what he is. He could just be Batman. He could literally just be. He doesn't have to work with anybody else. Like I don't need him to be Sword. I don't need him to be like the Shadow, fleet admiral or anything like that. Like he could just be a dude with an agenda. But I don't think he's a Blackbeard pirate, true, throughout. You know what I mean?
Shadow fleet admiral was wild. But yeah, Tanjit is in the chapter as well.
Oh yeah, major shout out to my guy Tanjit.
Tanjit had an ellipsis as well. What the hell, dude?
It's so menacing.
I want to speak on Tanjit, but all I can say is watch out next week because there will be a gear piece video dropping on Denden Kushi's channel from me that explains a lot about Tanjit and how I think he fits into Luffy's awakening.
Hell yeah. And how have we gone so far into this without mentioning the best boy who's also in this chapter? We got Choo Choo.
Choo Choo!
Yes, sir!
Yes.
My favorite boy.
The original guys, he's the original Grand Fleet member. The original Choo Choo. He's the original Grand Fleet member. Start from the bottom.
Is there an arc we haven't harkened back to in this like big reveal? Like with Mocktown, we got Jaya, which is like kind of fitting the whole Skypiea thing, but Jaya people count it as its own arc. But we also got Like, I think we went to Orangetown. We got Mayor Whoopslap, before that, while the countdown was still going on and stuff like that. We've seen so many. Is there like a major arc that hasn't been represented here?
No, but I do want to correct you. Former Yonko Whoopslap.
Let's go.
There isn't, but there's one arc and a special someone where I'm saying he should be on watch, not for fraud watch, more that what does he know? And that's Zeph for the Bratier. His dream about the All Blue, the way the Bratier was built, like the platform to stop the waves.
Oh.
He even had an exit system if everything goes bad. What did Zeph knows about the flooding? Because he has to know something.
We haven't gotten Baratier, and we haven't gotten anyone who is technically involved in Thriller Bark either, which is such
or
a shame.
Arlong Park. Like the Konomi Islands.
I'm convinced we're gonna get Geen reacting next chapter. It's gonna.
We haven't had Cross Guild react to this yet.
Yeah, all right. Because they're getting invaded by the other sets of the Seraphim, because there are 3 more Seraphim.
Yeah. That's true. Because we even got Neomads. We've gotten so many different like we got the Revs. We've got a lot. We definitely have not gotten Cross Guild though. I think it's past due. Like, right? Maybe that's next chapter.
It would be a shame if it was raining on Empty Bluff Island and someone got stabbed by someone who looks like them. I'm just saying. And then
with someone.
Gee.
I mean,
speaking in tongues.
I'll say it. I did videos about this. I think when the Seraphim, okay, so you have as Crocodile, as Flamingo, and as Gecko or as Bat, I don't know, the Moria clone. I guess it's going to be as Gecko, not sure. But out of those 3 boys, only one of them is a Logia. We know that Logias can be replicated. Wouldn't it be some funny irony if S Crocodile had the hormone fruit because Ivankov was in jail?
Yeah, it was. It has to be that.
Yeah, I remember, I think there was a Randy Troy video on that like a long time ago that I really vibed with. But the one thing we don't know that Logias can't be reproduced like artificially. What Vegapunk, I believe, said is that it's very costly. He didn't say it was impossible. He said it requires a lot of resources.
Yeah.
And the fact that he doesn't have resources currently could prove to us that he has done it already. It could still be like a Logia replica, but we don't know. So I mean, but it is a good theory though. I definitely like that.
Hashtag S Crocodile has the swamp fruit. Caribou is important.
Dude, that would be great. If he does a hormone fruit, it would such be a Oda way to tease the whole is crocodile.
Yeah. Hold on, wait, Josh. Josh, what were you saying?
Female.
It can be though because it's a Logia.
We don't know that it can't be. It's just difficult.
No, Vegapunk said he can't clone Logias yet.
That's not what he said. He said Logias are more difficult.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he cloned them.
But that doesn't mean he can't.
See, I think that the reason it's so hard for him to... He said Logia-type powers are too difficult to recreate despite his best efforts, by the way. That is the direct quote. I think it comes down to the lineage factor, because if you think about it, with Paramecia type, they probably only have to change a certain part of the lineage factor to allow the user to do what they do. With zone types, you probably have to have some kind of animal DNA to add in, or animal lineage factor to add into the lineage factor of whoever is getting this made-up fruit. But with Logias, it's all from elemental forces in nature. So it might just be hard to, like, you can't just pick up a leaf and shove the lineage factor from it into a human's lineage factor.
And you could take an account, and we know from Sabaudi, X Drake did correlate, saying that the laser seems to come from the Pika Pika no Mi, and look what he was able to do with Kizaru's Logia, just lasers. So, like what Lucas is saying, there might be something that's hard to maintain that in alchemy, that balance.
Yeah. Equivalent exchange.
And then some Logias are just ridiculous stuff. Like, how do you get the lineage factor of darkness?
Yeah.
Or sand.
Or sand.
What is
yeah.
sand?
Snow. Oh no, dude, snow.
Yeah,
Snow.
smoke as well, like, or gas.
Yeah,
like,
smoke.
Which
Y'all are
gas?
out here wilding
Yeah.
because the gas one is what I want to know because it's not just a single type of gas. No, it's
anything
any
gaseous.
gas.
Yeah.
It's
Honestly,
anything gaseous.
Don't get me
It-
started on the
there's-
gas fruit. It's like literally the most overpowered fruit other than the soul
The,
fruit.
the,
Like,
It is.
The pika and the gas are just too OP. They're not elements. They're more than elements.
Yeah.
Well, the gas fruit, you
But
could
I was gonna
literally
say-
turn all of the oxygen into a room into methane and like take out everybody at once.
Explosion.
Or explosion.
or the-
I have a thought. You know how Akainu keeps blowing up like he's going to a volcano eruption? It sounds crazy, but what if a lot of those Logias were created into like dire, like Hockey Bloom, dire circumstances? What if like Vegapunk has to be like queen level of horrible? He has to cause like many punk hazard incidents to recreate those, basically to recreate the process when Logia users were first manifested. They desired the first Logias. Like maybe the circumstances, like it's like disasters. Like maybe for the Magu, you need to go through a volcano eruption. Maybe for the Gasu, it must be something close to what happened to Punk Hazard. They only have the place blown up, Just a thought, Maybe it's like extreme circumstances. Vegapunk does have some morality.
I like that
Some.
though.
Yeah, some morality, a bit.
Yo, I'm dying. I just saw Polly and Will of Dreams in the chat talking about Soylent Green. It's people.
Oh, speaking of Soylent Green,
goodness.
speaking of Dyer, shout out my boy Dyer Regulus. He just hit 500 subs.
Yes.
Yo,
Yeah, let's go, bro. Let's go, Dyer.
the bro. Yeah, I did a community post on my channel as soon as I saw it. Like, that's huge. Much
That's
love
great,
to
friend.
the homie.
big congrats.
Yeah.
If you go,
So I have something to bring up because we didn't talk about, because there's someone who also became interested for Delphoot is Big Mom. When we know how Prometheus is and has quite a resemblance to the Mother Flame.
yes.
I'm very interested about all the homies, especially Hera and Zeus, that she had to recreate Zeus as a female for some reason.
Nah, it's all about Pandora, which was not Big Mom but Mother Caramel on Elbaf.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
true,
Bringing
Pandora.
the solstices like fire festival flame,
Yeah.
like, and create it, and the giants literally were like, it's like a sun god.
Yep.
And we don't know what happened with Pandora. Pandora
Exactly.
could still be Pandora could be in the hands of the world government right now.
So my thing is, do you guys, because he recreated Zeus as Hera, right? So it seems that she wanted to recreate that specific homie. Do you think we're getting a hint of a possible sighting of what Uranus might look like, or something close to Uranus,
Hey yo.
or something else? Because if you think of Zeus, what does Zeus does? It's a cloud that affects lightning and some weather abilities. What if that would be crazy if we were getting like foreshadowing since Big Mom was revealed with her homies.
I'm just saying, give Nami Prometheus. Give Nami. I've done so many videos. Give Nami Prometheus. And you know what? Well,
Get Mommy Uranus.
Gross.
Yeah, even better.
What were you saying, Polly, about Nami and Prometheus?
like I keep making videos on it. It makes so much sense for her to have a son in the cloud. I can't get beyond that. And
yeah,
then
man.
Big Mom then replaces Prometheus with like a magma homie since she's in the lava right now. And
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm pretty sure I think I've spoke to you multiple times about like I totally need the Big Mom coming back as like there's so much more to her character arc that I feel like it still needs to be like culminated on, you know, like I don't even know if this is like the right terminology or phrasing, but like but I really need that to happen. And like there's so much more like resolution and like mystery that needs to be like a like I don't know if I need anything more from Kaido that we can't get from a Rocks flashback. He had like a pretty fully encompassed story for the most
No,
part.
there is more.
It could be more because, like Oda did say, like Luffy's not just gonna take him out with a big punch, and he kind of just took him out with a big punch. But I need Big Mom. I don't need Kaido as much.
Yeah, I need Big
No,
Mom
I
and
need
Elbaf,
Kaido.
man. I need Big Mom
Me
and
too.
Elbaf, dude. Like, I really, really do. Because he promised Big Mom on Fishman Island he was going to kick her ass, and Luffy still has yet to kick Big Mom's ass. So I need my girl, the best Yonko, to come back. And,
Yeah, he's
That's
up
Yonko.
down the new world.
yeah, up
Big
and
Mom
down
already
the new
said
world.
Big Mom already said how she's gonna come back after the event of Whole Cake. When she read the article, she said, "Straw Hat and Big News Morgan, I'm coming after you guys." And
Yeah.
right now, where is Big News Morgan with Vivi? So I think Oda is already preparing the return of Big Mom.
Oh,
Big
Big
promise
Mama.
going to Morgan.
Wapple versus Big Mom in a pie eating contest. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine if Wapple eats Big Mom. The plot twist.
Would he... Wait. Is that how we're going to see somebody eat 2 devil fruits as Wapple eats Big Mom?
Oh
Pause.
my goodness.
I hate that so much.
Oh,
I have a question for you guys though. So with the way that he's setting up this speech by Vegapunk, do you think there's a chance that in the next chapter we will see a flashback of some sort to the Void Century? Because it doesn't make sense to me for him to have Vegapunk's speech just continue to go over what's going down in Egghead, because that's just going to distract the reader from what we're being told.
This is like the first thing we kind of brought up in the while you were before you got it, and like the general consensus is I think 3 Days said she needs it or she'll die. I think that I don't know if we're gonna get like an Odin style flashback right now. I think this is probably still like another stepping stone, and it'll be like with Toki. Like we could have like I'm sure a lot of I wasn't current at that point in time. I got current a little bit after that chapter. But like when Toki, when we found out about like her being from the Void Century, I'm sure a lot of people when that chapter dropped were like, we're about to get it, we're about to get the whole Void Century reveal. Like, but it's been 100 chapters plus since then, so I don't know.
I mean, also I'm thinking, what if we were getting a Dressrosa thing where we basically got two different flashback from 2 perspectives, the Flamingo and the Law. You know, in a way, maybe we'll get to that. Now we're getting the rest.
I just keep picturing like a little like Russian nesting doll, like a Matryoshka of like Big Mom and then Wapple and then like
and then Jupiter because the worm eats them both. Like
crazy. That's I'm sorry, my mind is stuck on that now.
No worries.
Speaking about eating, you know, I think who's gonna come out of this AOK is York, and the world government. No,
I hate that, bro.
York and Lilith are going to be A-okay, but the robot guys are all going to kick the bucket because they're all robots. That means they're all freaks and they all have to perish. So Edison, you did your part, you're gone. Atlas, you did your part, you're gone. Vegapunk, you're already gone.
But I don't think
he
Kenny
wasn't a robot.
Wait, what?
I think that
Stella was a robot.
A cyborg.
Part of it, partly. But no, like his head, half of his head's like a receiver, bro. But like,
yeah.
No, I mean Edison is absolutely cooked, but he's like, I'm not gonna die yet until you guys get off of this island. So I mean, he's goated for that for real. I don't even know what's going on. I think Pythagoras is already cooked, right?
Oh yeah, he's done.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, I think Edison will survive, but will be kidnapped by the Blackbeard pirates. He's the most vulnerable right now.
No, my boy. I think that could happen though. Because they're still on this island. Yeah, they're still on this island, right? Like Van Augur and Katarina Devon.
Like I said before, if a Vegapunk fall off the sky, wouldn't you just took him?
Yeah, dude, I could see something like that. He just falls onto their ship and then they, it's fate. The Blackbeard Pirates' favorite sentence. It's fate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think. Go on. Sorry.
I was gonna say. Every satellite is good except for Shaka. I'm sorry, Shaka, dude.
You think York is goated?
I mean, they've all done something. They've all done something impressive. Shaka, what he only did is he talked.
Ban this man.
Hold on. Shaka told Dragon before all of this happened that he was gonna die.
This is true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. True.
I think Shaka did nothing like heinous for me to have any strong feelings about, but York is, if York actually gets out of this and still is scheming and is like tee hee hee, I'm gonna be a celestial dragon, I'm gonna be fat and happy and get to do whatever the hell I want, no consequences and shit like that. I am gonna outrage. I hate her. I hate her so much, dude. I'm sorry, Muglatan, if you're watching this now or in the future, I will never like her. I can't stand York.
But at the same time, hear me out.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Hold on. All right. Let's think about this, right? Vegapunk has not been that long since he's made the satellites. So,
it's true.
Chris, you're going to jail.
No.
Yo, it's crazy.
I mean, she does have the mind of a 60-year-old dude.
Yeah, but so that's the thing. That's every single time I refer to Stussy,
that's
which is
messed
a
up.
lot.
That's
I'm
right.
referring to the
Underage
old
with a
Stussy.
60-year-old mind of a dude. I am
Bro.
so sick.
But no, I'm referring to the old Stussy, but back when she was a rocks pirate and looking fine. That's my general consensus.
Miss Bucking can also. Never mind.
Maybe.
And again, no.
3 day about to swing the band hammer. But we've cooked on the Mother Flame a bit. We've cooked on the potential, what if we get more from the Void Century lately. Cooked about Celestial Dragons and the Revs, Saul, and a lot of things. Doflamingo is a huge, and a lot of people put on their bingo cards when we did the TLA bingo stream a while back, that we might get a Impel Down 2.0 situation and stuff like that. I wanted to speak on that a lot more, and huge shout out to Brother Dill, who mentioned that as his main takeaway from the chapter, because seeing Magellan is goated, and I absolutely love every single time we get to see him, but Doflamingo is one of my absolute favorite characters in the entire series, and seeing this dude pop off at just how much do you guys think he truly knows?
I think he knows everything.
Are we gonna get a mass exodus from Impel Down type of thing where they have to relocate them?
Yes.
What does that even entail? You know what I mean? That's crazy to me.
Because if there's too much in Impel Down now, especially seeing as how we see Mr. 2 in Impel Down, there's too much left in Impel Down for them not to break out.
I agree. I keep wanting Cross Guild to break into Impel Down, but I really just want Dofi to join Cross Guild.
I think Dofi's above all that.
I do too. I don't see him serving under Buggy, but I could see him using them to further his purpose.
Yeah, I still put him way above Crocodile as far as big operations and stuff like that. Just he did when when they were beefing a little bit at Marineford and stuff like that. Dofi is not gonna be on cross guild timing. He's gonna be completely above that, the way that I see it.
I think he fits perfectly. He has the same syndrome as Mihawk and Crocodile. Is I want to be the boss, but if I can have a secret identity, I would love it. I mean, he had this whole Joker thing where he hid a part of his deal, it was underground. So I could see the Flamingo finding values to cross guild, you know. Having Buggy in front, because if all of them, if Mihawk and Croc doesn't, you know what I mean? If it was only Buggy, I could see the Flamingo saying, "Yeah, what am I doing here?" But having Crocodile and Mihawk, it might, motivate him to join it, and to just
Didn't he say he's yeah, I'd like to work with you, Crocodile. Would you like to be one of my underlings? He's going to be above it, if anything. Shout out real quick to Crownless King in the chat. Hopefully you're doing well. I'm sorry to hear that you're in the hospital, but
yes, sir. Please get better, Crownless.
Yeah, major shout out.
The chaos of Group 13.
Yeah, Group 13 been going too hard. That's what that tells me. But mad love to you and all of the rest of the whole TLA One Piece D&D greater community as well. But that's it's crazy to think about where would they even put all these prisoners if they were to try to safely relocate everybody from Impel Down. Like, are they going at Tequila Wolf? Because that's already been breached by the Revs. Like at one point, I don't think that would be, and like, but that's like another like prison type of situation that we've seen from the world government. Or would they take him straight to the courthouse, like Ennie's lobby, or like back in like what's left of Marineford? I don't know, like, because like what still is close to that? Like, I don't think they're taking him over the red line, so it would have to be somewhere on that side of the planet. Like, what would that be? Like,
could it be the underground of Mary Joas where you see all those slaves working the conveyor belt? That's a lot of people, though.
It's a whole lot of people.
I think that's where up in Kuma were whenever Kuma was a slave for the Celestial Dragons.
An intern, bro. Come on.
I mean, I might have a thought. What if they don't move from Impel Down, because Impel Down is like 95% stone, right? Pika is also an Impel Down. I mean, if you unchain Pika, he can like reshape the inside of Impel.
Yeah, that's brilliant, Kube. But at the same time, you have to think that all of that stone that Pika would be inhabiting is being touched by the seawater. Yeah, so it would kind of undo it.
Well, hold on. That didn't stop homeboy on the Blackbeard Pirates when he was an entire
Pizarro.
island.
Yeah, Pizarro. That's true.
Yeah. So wait, what if Pizarro just literally becomes Impel Down and gets up and walks away?
Yo, I think that would be the difference in their two fruits, is that his Pika's is a stone assimilation fruit. He wouldn't be able to get enough body mass above and in the water, but with the island fruit,
the question is,
needs to have enough body mass above and below the.
Yeah, but the question is Impel Down an island?
I think it counts. Like, I think
it would count.
The term island is pretty loose. Like, I don't know. Like, we've seen a lot of things like that are kind of islands. Like, they say that the red line is comprised of a lot of different. Like, Nami said this, I think, that it's comprised of a lot of smaller islands. Like, the Bowen Archipelago is like, the stomach barrens are like plants, but like they're considered like islands. Same thing with like the mangroves at Sabaody. That's not like, I think that like it's probably up to interpretation, because like I still believe that a lot of devil fruits, like probably every single devil fruit, is still only necessarily limited by the imagination. So I feel like if he believes it's an island, it's an island. You know what I mean?
Fair. Pizarro was affecting the buildings on the island, the trees on the island, the dock of the island, everything that was attached. So it wasn't just the actual core foundation. It was everything that's now
been built on the island as well.
Yeah.
It's wild to think about. My goodness.
It reminds me of Beija's fruit, where he becomes the castle and everything that's inside of the castle is affected by him.
I just like, I don't know. My thing is like they've been showing us like Water 7 as well, like a bit. We saw Polly, my guy. I was so on board with Polly for Straw Hat back when before we knew we were getting Frankie.
Yeah, same.
But like
when I was in Water 7, I thought the exact same thing. I thought Polly was going to be the strip right.
What if they just like snap Impel Down from the seafloor and it starts to float instead of like it just being stuck like a boat or submarine situation or something? Like, there's so many different like things that could happen instead of them actually trying to move all of these prisoners. But like, I don't know. That's just like something that, and seeing Doflamingo just like with the shit-eating grin he had on his face is just hilarious to me. But
well, Vex, what if they just use Sugar's fruit to turn all the prisoners into working toys for them?
I hate it. I hate that so much. Oh my god. If everyone just forgets about all of the heinous crimes that all of these people have ever committed. Oh my goodness.
It's one way to do it.
Wait.
The biggest
and Doflamingo would willingly let it happen. It wouldn't be a thing of his will being too strong. He would willingly let Sugar touch him, knowing the powers of her fruit.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I think that he gets away. He has to get away.
Cody said in the chat, what do you guys think gives the islands unique magnetic poles to have log poses work, and how did they work in the past if the world was flat? It's the equator, homie. We can safely assume that the Grand Line is all along the equator because it's surrounded by calm belts, and in our real world planet, the Earth, the calm belts like have like a thing. It's like the doldrums, which are two like belts of still ocean basically that wrap around the equator itself, which is very magnetically charged. So I believe that that's like there's not like much more significance there outside of just like the simple geology. But I had to shout out to my guy SSJ Cody in the chat.
We love you, Cody.
We love you, Cody. Can't wait for Saturday. Cody 8.
Yes, sir. Cody 8.
But I don't know.
You know what? There's one person I feel sad for. It's Shiroshi in this chapter. She has a dream to go to the on top, and now she's finding everything's gonna be flood. I felt bad for her.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And I felt bad for her.
No forest for you.
I kind of quit feeling bad for her. Like, I don't know. Like, I need more of an arc from her. Like with Momo, like we got that whole situation with Luffy, who is like, nah, quit crying, pick up your head. And like that whole scene where he was like, you need to ask me for help. Like, I'm not just gonna do it. And like we got a lot of development from Momo, and I can like actually like see a full arc there. We have not gotten like a full like, I feel like arc from Shirahoshi. I don't know, man. But it is interesting what you said as well, like the fact that they're showing us, like, it's crazy, like that we've gotten so many cameos recently from all of these people that Oda doesn't want us to forget, like Tonji.
Oh, Choo Choo, my beloved.
Yeah, Choo Choo.
Also, we see Smoothie this chapter, which I want Smoothie to do something, please. Please fight in Elbath.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say NL. I didn't like full stop. Like Smoothie versus NL.
Yeah, she'll fight NL.
Oh
But
my god!
I just wanted to step on me.
Smoothie juicing like
But you know, honestly, fruits like Smoothie and Crocodile had became more clear, especially Smoothie's fruits with the flooding prediction. You know, both of them affect water a certain way.
In a way, true.
Yeah, like
I think it's
some fruits
hilarious
are
that
more clear.
in Toto Land, because she like her island is like the island of juice or whatever, because like she's like she could juice people basically. Pause. But her island is called 100% Island, and I love that. It's one of my favorite island names in One Piece.
It's cool.
But yeah, I don't know. You guys think that we'll get like the remnants of the Big Mom pirates doing anything? Like
I really want them to join the Grand Fleet. If I'm being honest, I
I
don't
love
know
that.
necessarily. Yeah, I would say I don't necessarily think they will, but like headcanon wise, I would love that. I would love to see Katakuri like back up the man that wants to be king of the pirates, especially after him and Luffy had that conversation at the end of their fight.
I
They
want
need a
him to
civil
have.
war in the crew. They need a civil war in that crew.
I want him
Katakuri
to
is
have.
not. Sorry.
Yes. No, that's fine. I want the donut pirates so bad.
the donut.
I think it's better than the Piluri pirates.
And yeah,
Oh, big yikes. My mind immediately went to Ace though when you said that. I was just
Yeah,
like,
me
oh,
too. Me too. That's
Oh no.
Polly, I
before
have
that-
a question for you.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go
I
ahead.
just wanted to ask him that. I'm sorry. He had brought up Arbor King earlier. I'm wondering how, if they had the legend of Joy Boy, or he believed in Joy Boy, if the Lunarians truly knew about Joy Boy, then how could he confuse Kaido with Joy Boy?
That's a
I
good
don't get
question.
that.
I think it's just word of
Right.
mouth. Like they mentioned, like Kuma's tribe also knew about Joy Boy, but all they knew is that he would be like a laughing, bouncing man, like or whatever. And like Vegapunk had read about like a warrior. I think it's called a warrior in white or whatever. But like I don't. It's like it's all vague. like,
Yeah. I
mean, outside of the name itself.
It's up to interpretation. That's why both Big Mom and Kaido, in my eyes, are failed Joy Boys. If you look at Big Mom specifically, like, yeah, I'm sure the Legend of Joy Boy says something about, or like the Warrior in White, the Warrior of Liberation, says something about uniting people together, things like that. And we see that with Big Mom. She's uniting people together. She's just going about it the wrong way. Same with Kaido. He's united an entire country. He's just gone about it the wrong way.
Well, even if you think about it from
it's
liberation,
stretchy though. That's what Vegapunk was saying. It's stretchy though. That's the part of the legend.
Well, we don't know if what Vegapunk. We don't know if his information was the same information as Albert's, and so like because it's also not the same that like necessarily we got from Kuma, although there's like similarities. But I think that like it's been a lot of different like corners of the world trying to like keep this going. And one thing that we did know is that from what Who's Who said is that he's known as a warrior of liberation. And Albert, literally the first thing he saw from Kaido is Kaido liberating Albert from the world government.
From Mount Hazard. I have to shout Jose Larios in the chat. What are you talking about? Extinct for 1,000 years. We just saw Albert and like what? Have the Lunarians haven't been extinct for 1,000 years? That does not line up at all.
They've been wiped out. They've been mostly wiped out, but not extinct.
Yeah. And I don't know where you're getting
the fact that Whitebeard had information on them.
Yeah, but no, I want to know where he's getting the 1,000 years thing.
Yeah, 1,000 years. Well, I'm just gonna just to jump in before.
The only information we truly have is like conjecture from Whitebeard because he said like it was like he said she said type of stuff where he said that there used to be before like the world government took place, that used to be the realm, so it would have been at least 900 years ago that the Lunarians would have been prospering. So it's not too far out of range to think it was be like 1,000 years. But yeah, I think that their lineage factor is still being like kept on ice, Go ahead, Cube.
So,
sorry.
My thing on the thing of 3 days is very simple. Is look at Luffy. Imagine if in a time where the information wasn't shared instantly, like now with the Dead Mushi. Look at Luffy fighting Impel Down with Mr. 3. Someone describing Luffy without his name, just description, but then describe him in Thriller Bark as Nightmare Luffy. And we know that he has different gears. So I think it's basically back then, the stories were just isolated. They were not put all together. And books like the Bragman book, like the Nolan stories, were only created like 90 years ago. So it could be that up to 100 years. Sorry?
The Bragman story was over 200 years ago, I think.
No, but the collection, like Louis Arnott, the books that at least in Little Garden, they talk about 97 years ago is when the first edition came out, but it could be 200 years ago, regardless. Like it could have been 500 years ago. All those stories were so isolated that whatever Kaido got, he got from from one culture. Maybe Whitebeard heard it from another culture, Roger from a different culture. It could be, like legends that we hear as well. They're contradicting information and
Yeah, there's also the fact that like we said like before, like if people believe it and they have like the conqueror's like will or spirit or like whatever, and like if people believe it, it might become true. And so like Sun God Nika could have just been a normal dude, but like them like people saying for generations and centuries like all of these fantastical things about them and what they can do. This could be what is fueling the fire to make the Nika fruit as powerful as it is currently. But it could have just been like a kind of like a Usopp situation, like people just kind of like saying things that aren't true long enough that they become true. But it could have just been like a dude, like a normal guy, like you know what I mean? Like
and my thing as well is think of Hyogoro. He trained Luffy the whole time. But when you saw that specific form in Gear 4, that instant, he started questioning things about him. It could be like all of an instant. Like he could have had different, Nika could have been different, he could have fought different ways, but people just clocked it in one moment, one form. And then that form became his identity. And then if the next Nika never goes to that form, no one from that culture would clock it that person might be a Nika.
It also kind of goes hand in hand with Bonnie's fruit. In that it's like basically what she believes. She's like, show me like a Nika-ish future, and then like show me like a giant-ish future, and like basically based off of her imagination and her beliefs, she can kind of like shape and warp reality and things like that. none of the things that we really know about like the sun god Nika and or Joy Boy the first pirate it necessarily need to be true. As long as people actually believe them to be true, in which case then like I don't know, that's the craziest thing to me is like this kind of like because propaganda has been something that we've known has been a thing for like since like I feel like way back in like literally like when like in Shellstown, but also more specifically in like Arlong Park and stuff in East Blue, but especially since we've entered into the Grand Line and gotten to know like the true thick of the plot, like propaganda has been something that's like extremely like inlaid into the world of One Piece and the story that's being told to us. And like if that is like actually being something that's like if the Ancient Kingdom or if like Joy Boy or like the people who know the true history and whatnot are actually playing like some 4D chess to like out propaganda even the world government, wouldn't that be crazy?
Yo.
I got chills saying that. Like
Diggus Morgan is the most important piece for that war, that's for
I don't know. It's still just saying, even with all that explanation, Polly, seriously, do you think that's really how he could have been confused about that, though? About
like I can see that because I guess not everybody has all the information. Because we just learned recently that that Nika is the deity of the people of Elbaf. So I wonder how much information do the Lunarians have, and then too, we don't know necessarily where King comes from because, of course, the Lunarians were run out of the Red Line. So I don't know how much they particularly know about Joy Boy, and then the only other person to know a lot about the rubber ability that you were talking about was Kuma. So the Buccaneers knew, but that doesn't necessarily mean King knew or Lunarians knew.
No, King straight up knew the story. He told to kite the Reds of Nika.
Yeah, but
no, he said Joy Boy.
The full story is what we've been talking about.
Yeah, the King can refer him as Joy Boy. He never used the term Nika.
Oh, true.
It was Who's who called him the Nika, the sun god, the word of
maybe each group of people had a different piece to the puzzle of what Nika was, putting all the pieces together.
Yeah,
maybe the Laugh-Tail. Yeah, the Laugh-Tail might have the one piece and has everything in Laugh-Tail. That's what Odin said. We found out about everything.
To go along with like the like I guess like the collective kind of like misconceptions and like different interpretations potentially and things like that, like. We were mentioning there's people who mentioned like the four gods that we saw in Skypiea and things like that. Like, what if that's just four aspects of the same individual?
Nah.
Well,
awesome. Great addition. Yeah, like we love
that. Was there a
I'm gonna stop
or there's just a lot more gods out there but they only know of four in that group or that clan.
Yeah. In like Shinto beliefs, there's like the Koto Matsukami, which is like the countless gods. Like there's gods within everything. Like that rock that you just kicked on the side of the road, there's a god in that. And like it's like there's gods in everything. But like I think it's not too far-fetched to believe that like because like specifically like we hear that like sun god Nika is a title that's used, by like the name of the fruit itself, and then like who mentioned Nika as well. And but like in Wano, whenever he went Gear 4 Snake Man in front of like old man Hyogoro, he literally called him like one of the wisdom kings, like a fire god.
It was normal Gear 4 Mossman.
Either way, it's like, so there's different names for like potentially the same god. That's already been something that's been kind of established in the canon.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is super interesting. On that note, kind of shifting gears a little bit, but still talking about the same thing, I guess. Bonnie for 10th Straw Hat.
Yes.
That is all.
Yep.
I don't need it.
I do.
Bonnie for Revolution Army. They need her.
No,
they need her. They need her for the Revs. The Revs need her.
The Revs need to be
Bunny
disbanded.
because she's
Fraud
able to
watch.
carry on. She's able to carry on her father's will and learn the true history and how Nika affects it.
And also,
Never
Bunny
use
wouldn't be practical with the Straw Hats because he has an army of pacifistas.
Well, we don't necessarily know if she'll use that, and that kind of bolsters like Luffy's group as a Yonko group because now
That is true.
they may.
But Luffy doesn't need those with the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, but the Revolutionary
Well,
numbers.
that she's not going to be able to take them with her. That they've already been disabled, right?
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
way.
Most of
that's
them,
gonna
have
Right.
been wiped out on Egghead Island.
Nah, her goal is to sail the world with her father.
Yeah.
She does no
Well,
reason
she
to
can
be
take
with
one of them with the straw
he
hats and
inherits
She has-
his
but this thing,
will.
she could take as many of them as she wants, but there's no reason for her to remain with the Straw Hats, in my
That
opinion.
cabin girl.
I
No
mean,
way.
apprentice, and then
No.
what did she want to
Yeah.
find when she went to go find her father?
Hey man, listen, I would love to agree on the for 10 Straw Hat, but after I saw that Kuma flashback with Jin and Kuma and the Revs and the way she reacted after that, I can see her joining the Revs. Definitely.
Mommy from
I don't know, I
Mommy.
kinda-
No, hold
I
on.
kind-
Sanji is already never gonna beat these allegations from this arc, and we don't need this to be a continuous thing. Plus, he already has a hard enough time feeding just Luffy. Another glutton on
So
board
this
like,
is
much,
really this is your reason for real. This is
there's a lot of reasons why
No,
I
bro.
feel like there's no way
No.
she sails away with the Straw Hats like
But
permanently.
no, hold
if
on,
she
I-
rides alongside like Law, like for a bit to accomplish a goal, cool. I'm fine with that. But Law is not a Straw Hat. You know, he's not even technically Grand Fleet. So there's like that to like take into consideration. I think that yes, her being Straw Hat adjacent is obvious at this point for however long to be determined, but I do not see her actually joining the crew. No.
Well, I like what you said about her dream and it being, to sail around the world with her father, because that is her dream. I think it would be very beautiful if she took the malfunctioning Kuma and they both just kind of set off on their own. Like as much as I want her, as much as I want her to join the Straw Hats, I think that would be such a fitting ending for them and such a deserved ending for them.
that would be okay
Maybe-
with me too. Then
Maybe with Esbear. Esbear and Bonnie.
I'm sorry, Chungus Trio? Is that what you just said, Kuso?
Yeah.
The Chungus Trio. Let's go.
The large and in charge crew. Like, I am deceased. That is the funniest thing.
I will say this in Bonnie's defense. Okay, she wanted to find Kuma. That is true. But what did she want to find when she was looking for Kuma?
She found his memories. She found his will. She found.
No, what
She found
specifically?
God.
What did she? She wanted to find Nika. She found Nika. Then she
Yeah.
found out Luffy was Nika.
She
Then
found
she
Nika was a normal dude.
and
Are
on
you
top
calling
of that,
Luffy normal?
What
For
is
One Piece,
happening?
yes.
What is happening?
Yeah, Luffy compared to a god is relatively normal, even though he's Luffy.
No, I think the thing is Josh is right. Like accounting for the
Oh,
entire
I
story. No,
see.
Luffy's not a normal dude, but like Josh is correct in the fact that it's like Luffy is not going to accept the fact that Bonnie recognizes him as a god, just like he's not going to accept that of all the Elbaf
Well,
giants.
she couldn't even
Like-
recognize him as an emperor. She was like, "Are you really an emperor?" Right?
Yeah. So I could see
But that's
how,
what
like,
you're saying-
I could
saying.
definitely see it. Like it's like she has no reason to join this crew outside of the fact that it's convenient for right now, because this is like literally a straight up wars, like cataclysmic, like apocalyptic war zone at this point in time. But she has no actual reason now that she's figured out the truth. She doesn't want to like axe Vegapunk anymore. Plus the dude's already cooked. Like it's
Right.
like, there's literally zero reason for her to sail away with the Straw Hats outside of just an escape strategy. That's it. Like I haven't heard any compelling argument to why she actually does join the crew outside of people being like, it would be cool. But I just see her as another Law figure. Like to accomplish a goal, and once the goal is accomplished, bye.
Well, let's be
It's
real.
been real.
We've seen a little bit from each of the worst generation, and Bonnie and
Except
Arouge
Arouge.
were the last. Yeah, they were the last two we needed, and then we got Egghead. So if she does join the crew, it would actually be surprising. Like I said, I do want it to happen, but it would be surprising because I think Elbaf will be the arc where we get more Arouge.
I can see us getting a Rouge, but I don't see us getting more from Bonnie. She's got her own goals to accomplish and her own, like, she has a whole crew of her own that we don't know
they're
what
dead.
happened to. And stuff.
They're dead.
Yeah, they're dead,
They're
bro.
gone.
Like, they
Ain't
are
no
gone.
way.
Ain't no way they survived the world
And-
government, bro.
And now we
No,
can't
they're-
use crews as an arguing point because Jinbei had a whole crew and left them all to presumably die as well, I guess.
No,
So
they
I-
had a whole. He had a whole successor, and they had another captain who was like.
Who was the other captain?
Was that
Aladdin.
Aladdin?
He was never
Yeah,
announced as
Aladdin.
captain.
Yeah, it
No,
was.
he is.
No,
Yeah,
no,
he
no.
was.
Whenever,
Yeah, he was.
whenever they came to provide the escape route for Jinbei to leave, that was him doing that job as the captain.
Yeah, he had,
he was always-
already taken over as captain. Aladdin is the captain of the Sun Pirates right now.
All right.
Then yeah, so it's like, but like the thing is like with I don't know, like I just feel like there's like if she joins and it's just like I guess that's my whole reason, you know, like that feels so weak. Like I'm sorry, I don't see that being like that's outside of Oda's wheelhouse. I don't think that we need her as a straw hat. I don't think we need any more straw hats.
We are gonna get 10 though,
Honestly.
bruh.
I don't think
We are
will.
gonna get Vivi.
I think so.
It's
Vivi's
gotta be
my
10.
choice as well.
Vivi's
gotta be
already
10
an
for sure.
honorary. Like,
Yeah,
but I
but
don't
no,
see
see,
her being.
that's
like,
why I
official.
see her coming back though, is because like she was a part of the crew, and she's the only person who was a straw hat that left the crew. She was not honorary. She was a straw hat for all in terms of. She even said, "When you guys come back and see me, will you still call me your crewmate?" She was not an honorary straw hat. She was just a straw hat. And when she left, she only did so because she had to take over for like handle things in Alabasta. So that's the
Well,
only
that's
reason I
fine.
could see
Yeah.
her coming back. Yeah.
Then we already have 10.
Then we have 10.
all
Yeah.
along. Yeah,
Well-
we've had 10 like since we got like Brooke. Like we already
Exactly.
have 10.
If you want to hear a very interesting theory, at some point on the channel, there's going to be a very long movie, but I'll just give you a snippet of this. If there was ever a straw hat to die, it was going to be Jinbei.
No, it's not.
All right. Yeah, I
It's,
can see
it's
that.
gonna be Robin, because nothing is more tragic than the person whose wish is to live to die.
I mean, realistically,
Hold on. This is crazy. Like clockwork, we get the €2 super chat from Mr. Bushido saying the carrot for Nakaba.
Let's go.
That is hilarious. But no, I think like Luffy's already died. Brooks already died. Like I don't need any more destroy.
yeah, Zoro already died.
Yeah, Zoro
Zoro
also
already
died on
We
Wano.
we got plenty of it. Like I don't need any like legitimate, you know what I mean? Like but it's I don't know. Like the Jinbei hate is crazy because that's my homie. I love I call him Tio Jinbei. Like,
Yeah,
he just
Jinbei
reminds me of my uncles. Like all of them.
Jinbei is my fourth favorite straw hat. Like he is definitely Tio. Like
Yeah,
I mean-
I'm gonna say this: if someone has to kick the bucket, Jinbei's the oldest. He's lived a life, you know. That's
No,
all.
that's
Brooke is
Brooke.
older.
Brooke is
Brooke is
the
older.
I will say this.
Brooke, true. Brooke, sorry, you're out.
I will say this though. If you look in Fisher Tiger's flashback, and I will say this, and I won't say anything else about it. If you look at every other Straw Hat, right, and then you look at their like mentor character, it's always like you're the one to do this, you're the one to do that. With Yorkie, with Brooke, you're the one who will live through this, even though you died, and you'll go to see Laboon. Fisher Tiger says to Jinbei, "We're not the ones to change things for our people. Therefore, in the narrative, Jinbei is fraudulent because he is of the last generation." He then pushes off. He then puts off to say it's going to be people like Koala who will change things for our people. That's what's in the narrative. I'm not saying
the
that.
thing is,
That lines up because Luffy's in Koala's generation, bro.
Yeah,
yeah, and like he specifically also like Jinbei changed. He tested fate he stared down a Yonko and she was like literally using her soul powers, and he was not afraid, and he stood completely. He's obstinate to like he's like, this dude is a conqueror. This dude can make it happen. Just because Fisher Tiger didn't see that doesn't mean that like it's not, like, I don't know. I feel like Jinbei is he is a great character, and I love him. And the fraud allegations are crazy. Blue hockey is crazy.
Whoever says blue hockey, we're fist fight right now.
Let's go. I'm the frontline combatant, bro.
Let's go, helmsman, Brevy, and captain. Let's go.
But Fisher Tiger was also like extremely jaded, and he was a product of, you know, like a lot of poor, like bad circumstances, and he did not agree with like even though him and Otohime had like we're technically going for the same cause and things like that, he still didn't like there were a lot of things about Fisher Tiger that were flawed in concept as well. He wasn't a perfect character, and so I don't know if I'm gonna, you know, take everything that he says as the gospel. But I don't know. Like I love me some Jinbei. He's my guy. He looks like Tito from Rocket Power, Ancient Hawaiian Secret, you know.
Ancient Hawaiian.
All right.
We have another €5 super chat from Mr. Bushido. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. He said, we will see the Minx reacting to Vegapunk's message on Snail. Frankie built for them, and Carrot won't be with them, calling it. We'll see about that, brother.
How do you build a snail?
Well, transponder snail.
I think Carrot is absolutely going to be with the Minx right now.
Yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, it has been explained in Dressrosa how you take the snail and attach things to them until you make...
oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Well, it's ancient dial.
I think Odo keep us guessing, though. I think she won't be there. I think that just
okay, but
because
what happens
they never made it clear.
Yeah, but
Bushido, that's a question. What's you gonna do?
Respond to me in the chat. Will the agenda die if we actually do get, or is there gonna be another? Like, what's next? Like,
I'll tell you what. The deciding factor, if she's not there, what if she is with Yamato, still on Wano, and she travels around with Yamato like her Inugarashi Nekomamushi equivalent, and then if Yamato does find her way back to the Straw Hats, Carrot follows her. That's the only way I can see this happening, because the stowaway thing is going to happen in one way or another. It just depends on what ship Carrot is on. Is she going to be on Yamato's ship, or is she already on the Sunny? I don't think she's on the Sunny. I just see her running. What was that, Fede? I'm sorry. No, you're gone.
I just see her running away from those responsibilities and wanting to go out to sea. And
she seemed pretty like accepting of the fact that she had to lead her people. Like, if I'm being honest, like at the end of Wano,
really,
like, it seemed like
will. Pedro's will.
She has Pedro's will. She wants to see the best for her people.
Yeah.
But then Pedro was a Notch pirate.
Yeah,
like the whole thing.
They wanted to see the dawn.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the thing is, she is a young individual. Pedro got to sail and see plenty of the world after losing like 70 years or something off of his life. She has so much more time to do all of the things that she can do. But right now she has a duty to her people. I do have to read another €5 super chat from Mr. Bushido 56 themselves. Usopp will die saving the day, but he's really alive. He just looks dead. So when he moves, people say he rose from the dead and call him a god.
That's good.
I think that's hilarious.
Oh, dude, that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Great.
But also, like, the thing about inherited will is it's not necessarily so cut and dry as you have to want the exact same thing as like, and time changes. The world has changed and things like that. So wanting like similar things to what Pedro wanted then could mean something completely different now, based off of the fact that pieces on the board have moved. Things are different. Things are known now that weren't known to Pedro. And things like that. So I don't know. I can think it's not as cut and dry as just like the whole Will of P argument, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, listen, even if I'm gonna say this, even if Carrot, let's say Carrot does happen in Egghead, what is Carrot going to do? I mean, right now in Egghead. I mean, like,
Solo gonna say.
like what the 5 Gorsa are gonna see Carrot and says, "Oh no, they brought Carrot. We've got to go home." I mean, like,
thought it's
Carrot,
your favorite
and the Carrot is not
Rumble
weak. She's not a weak character, but no way
We
she could
need
handle
to see
Gorsa.
her take a rumble ball. We've got to see that.
Yeah,
that'd
like
be
what?
crazy. I want to see Luffy take a rumble ball.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
He's a Zoan, yeah. I need to see Luffy take let's see
Well-
Luffy go Sulong like Beppo did.
Well, I said this on stream not too long ago that I think that Luffy during the final fight will like take things that have inspired him from his crew, and I think he'll eat a rumble ball. And because he's using his imagination in Gear 5, he'll picture himself turning into like Monster Point Chopper.
Actually, he's the word liberation, right? They said his power is limited by imagination. What if like he found out he's a Zoan and one day he looks at the full moon and he just believes he can go Sulong?
So he does. That'd be sweet. That's what like a pseudo Gear 6 is Sulong form. Nika.
Yeah, like he purposely believes that under the moon he will turn Sulong, and because his word liberation, he does it, and a new form comes from it. That would be funny. I'm a mink.
Mink.
And before that's
fur.
just your fifth.
And before that's just Gear 5. I like that.
Oh yeah, but I'm happy you guys name drop my boy. Yurush is gonna have his time to shine. Come on, Oda.
He has
Put the boy to work. Put the boy to work.
He has to. You think it's gonna be as big as like the whole Bonnie shit though? Like with like the whole Kuma flashback? Like it's gonna be so hard to top. Like
Oh no!
I've seen the
only way
I recently Okay, I'll go Lucas first, and I'll go after you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the only way I could see Erouge being super duper, like on the same level as the Bonnie Huma stuff is if he like drops some insane lore for us, like things that he's picked up from his time traveling around the world. Maybe he helps with the expedition dump from the Ancient Kingdom that we may get on Elbaf. Like I think that's the only way.
He is the man marked by flames. I'm sorry.
I would shit my pants. I would shit my pants.
I'm just gonna say I recently analyzed Kuma's Jolly Roger with Denden and Will of Dreams, who's in the chat right now. Shout out to my bro Will of Dreams. And he does have the necklace that Kuma left for Bonnie, and he has a huge smile on it. So I do think he might be lore oriented, and his nickname the Mad Monk. So I think he'll be more lore than anything else. So
also the
I can
fact
see
that he's a Skyfolk, they worship the sun god, they worship gods.
Yeah.
Why not bring him to drop us some lore? Even in Elbaf, that we know they venerate the sun god Nika.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been thinking with his low bounty, 100. He only had 108 in Sabaody. He just happened to become a supernova. It could be that it's not, and he was pretty strong in Sabaody with the Pacifista. I think only him and Zoro damaged the Pacifista pre-time skip. It could be that he heard the events of Skypiea, and just because they were a bit around the same time, just before Sabaody, right? And he went to the Blue Sea and made a name for himself very fast because he was really strong, but he had such a low bounty. Maybe he was just there a couple of months because he heard about what happened to Anel, because he was also a Birkin. It's like
Shut up.
Go on. Like it would fit. No, I said it would fit in the timeline as well. With his low bounty.
On him being okay. First of all, shout out to Young Usopp because he did make a video about the him being indebted to the Straw Hats. If he heard about the thing on Skypiea, because we know NL destroyed Burka, and supposedly Rouge is a Birkin. And then I did a video a while ago when the solar eclipse happened because I caught an eclipse theory and I was being very funny about it. But anyway, I think based on all the races we have in One Piece, right? Most of them have transformations. At least some of them do, because we have the mermaids when they're 30, their legs split apart. The minks become Sulong, and fishmen. I guess if you want to call this a transformation, when they eat too many energy steroids, they turn white.
There's also the Arlong thing. Remember when he got upset? It's not like a real, but the eye thing, and he became. It's some form of. Yeah, it's some form of form in a way.
I mean, we never seen other people take the drug that Hody took. Every race could just grow white hair if they take drugs. It's just side effect.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess the point is like there's at least a
who's
transformation.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
But amongst like, especially the animal folk, let's say, at least with fishmen and merfolk are tied together, and then minks are tied together. So you have fish and mammals, right? Let's say the sky people are birds, right? Let's say that. The reason why Urouge is so interesting is because when we see him as a child, he's depicted as a Skypian. When he's depicted as a female, he is a Skypian. But in the narrative, after he's a grown man, he is called a Birkin. So I think that it's possible that the sky people can like change races upon viewing a solar event like an eclipse, and maybe the goal is to become a Lunarian.
Or I have an idea. I actually had an idea on that. I actually believe that the Birkins and the Skypian used to be one tribe.
That
They just separated because there's some similarities on NL's people with the Sky people.
I mean, I always say that the sky people are just like they're a combination of many people. Like they're humans, they're Lunarians, and they're also minks because there are the Skypians that are goat-like. They have horns and big ears. I think they're just a mixed race of many other people, many other races.
Was the goat in a costume though?
No, they straight up had the wrong ears and horns.
Because like that could be stretched earlobes, like like NL, right?
Yeah, that was
no, that was different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those earlobes thing is very weird, still to this day. Do you think he hears better NL like that?
No, I don't think that is anything. I mean, NL could hear everything from Skypiea using his like mantra and devil fruit, but I don't think it tied to the earlobes, you know. Maybe that's where he got it. He drew all of his power from. It wasn't a devil fruit at all. Like,
I mean,
Fukurokuju, dude had a strong earlobe game as well. Like, I don't know, like.
Yeah, and then there's Vegapung's whole 22 years ago when he saw Dragon. Dude, his spine must be powerful. The way it can just hold his entire head with such a small body. Bro. I'm still shocked by that scene. I'm like, dude, how can you walk?
What did Kusoland just put in the chat?
Oh no, let me check that out.
No, I'm not reading that on stream.
Fourth nips.
And Lucas just went ahead and straight read it off. Like, but we're like 2 hours in. I don't know how much more time you have, Polly, or you, Lucas, since you're running the stream. But was there, like, I know you've been talking a little bit about like some potential videos and theories that spawned from like recent chapters, future chapter predictions and things like that. Just one more time for like the individuals that we have in the chat here, Polypede. Tell the people like where they can find you, what all you got going on, just how goated you are in general and whatnot. If you guys haven't seen 3 days been amazing, making the links rain in the chat this whole time.
Well, thank you all for having me on. I'm Polypede Works. I make shorts every day, every single day without fail. So you can expect a short every day. I have a bunch of theory videos on the channel. One just dropped about Stussy being a artificial vampire bat Zoan and possibly being the vampire bat that gives all the warlords their invitations, which is very funny when you consider Weevil's a warlord and a clone of his mother.
I like that though. I like that.
Air quotes mother, you know, but no, I get you.
Yeah. No, possible. I don't know. Maybe not. Seeing as how she's a scientist as well, you make a good point, vexyz. But like, yeah, and we have the Rose Skull podcast with my co-host Zach. We are on Twitch and TikTok sometimes. Fridays at 3 p.m. CST, which I believe is 2 p.m. EST. So check us out there. The VOD always goes up on both the Rose Skull podcast channel. Also, shorts on the Rose Skull podcast channel every day as well. But yes, the VOD for the Shorts go up on the Roll School Podcast channel, the Polyp Works channel, the Polyp TikTok. And yeah, the VOD of the podcast comes out shortly after, probably 2 or 3 days after. And that will also be on the Roll School Podcast channel and the Polyp Works channel. And I think that's everything.
Yeah, this guy is constantly cooking, constantly putting out content, quality free content. Make sure you support Polypede and everything that he does. We have another €2 super chat from Mr. Bushido. Said Frankie puts Eternal Flame in Sunny R himself. I don't.
Or himself.
Or himself. Okay, yeah. So I mean, it's assuming that we get to interact with it because I don't know. Like, interesting theory though. But yeah, like Polypede, I put all of your platforms on the auto promo in my server, and
Thank you.
you are just always popping off. Like it is truly a work of like a marvel at how much content I see you putting out so consistently.
Would you say it's a Polypede work of Marvel?
You're hilarious. But, I don't know if we're wrapping. I just wanted to make sure we did do that, Lucas. I don't know how much time you still have.
Yeah, I would actually. Yeah, we could wrap now.
Let's go.
Yeah, I got you. Mustard on the beat, yo. No, sorry, no, like. Oh, the other type of rapping. My bad.
Well, I'm gonna just plug my stuff and chill for a bit, and then we'll go around the rest of the crew and end with Lucas. I feel like, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's
my
fine.
name is vexyz, the Lurking Legend. Y'all can just call me Vex. It's been super fun. Been a while since I've got on stream and cooked with the crew about One Piece, but you could almost always catch me every single Thursday here on TLA for TLA Gaming with Tree the Wolf, playing A Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, the first game. Major shout out to King Recon for putting us onto this game. It is insane. It's hilarious. It's really fun. It's like One Piece levels of story, like boarding and like world building. It's super awesome. Always a good time. And I'm also every Saturday on SSJ8 Cody's Twitch, and the VODs go up on his YouTube channel. I'm a part of Cody 8 D&D with Lucas and Tree the Wolf and our buddy Dastard Dan, who's Dastard12 on YouTube. Majorly goated campaign. We're currently about to fight Ghost Nappa for the Dragon Balls in Fortnite. So yeah, crazy One Piece D&D stuff where anything could happen. We love you, Cody. I see you in the chat. I also have my own One Piece D&D campaign that I run on my channel. Link in the description for vexyz, the Lurking Legend. We are TLA One Piece D&D Group 2 solos. And if Dill, my brother here, is the first mate of the Scarlet Pirates, and we just had a ridiculously goated cliffhanger session. Next week is going to pop off. That's every Tuesday at 7 p.m. CST. Come check us out. And I do plan on pumping out a few theory videos, discussion videos, and another large collab soon. I just haven't had the time to focus on content too much, but I got weekly stuff coming out, 3 days a week. So make sure you stay tuned for more from that. And then we've got, I think, Dill, you want to tell the folks a little tiny sneak peek of what's happening next Wednesday for TLA streaming?
I think I can. Heard a rumor through the TLA sphere that we're going to have an award ceremony for the TLA members.
More on that soon. Yeah.
Keep your eyes out for the notification for that one.
Yes.
And then Kube, Josh, 3-Day, y'all got anything y'all wanna plug?
Well, yeah, I actually have. So this week, my podcast with Andy Legs, Kusoland, who is in the chat, and Tate and Marv just came out, the Nothing Happened podcast. Check it out. I'll have Sride drop a link for it. It's the podcast where nothing happened.
So we don't need to listen to it
already.
You should check it out. So check it out, guys. So, yeah.
Excellent. That's why you're the GOAT 3-Day. Absolutely amazing work there. Before he even spoke the word on call, like you already had the LinkedIn chat.
She's the
Base
GOAT.
3-Day. Base.
Absolutely. And then Lucas. I know you just had a rambling addiction premiere, right?
Yes, I did. Hello, everybody. I am Straw Hat Lucas, captain of the Last Ark. I want to thank everyone in chat for joining us today. Go subscribe to my channel. New episode of Rambling Addiction just came out. I'm stepping outside of the anime manga sphere with this episode. It's about Doctor Who. So if you're a fan of that, go check it out. Other than that, I want you guys to stay tuned on my channel for the 30th of May, where TLA's One Piece D&D Group 14 will be coming back. That is with myself. Yes, sir. Myself as Captain Leadbelly, my first mate Kiryu, right here with Joshua Victor. And we got a ton of other great players. And of course, SSJ8 Cody's there. Our boy Angel's Room is there. Our boy Ragnar is there, who is a goat. And some other guys. No, I'm joking. But no, we have a lot of goats there. And of course, our wonderful, wonderful DM for Group 14, Mikey. We are Mikey's men. Let's go. But yes, we have a lot of spice coming up on TLA. We have a lot of spice coming up on my own channel, and we have a lot of spice coming out on the Din Din Kushi channel. Not to mention all of the wonderful, wonderful streams that vexyz mentioned during his promo. And with that, I want to wish everyone a wonderful, wonderful day, and thank you so much, Polly, for joining us today.
It was a pleasure. It was a great show. I love being on. Finally made it to the last arc.
Woo!
Thank you all for having me.
And with that, I'm going to close this out, guys. You everyone have a wonderful